Welcome, everybody. I am so excited to have you on another episode of Reinvent to Rise. Today is Friday. Whatever part of the world you're in, I hope you had a fantastic week. Well, today we're going to be talking about reinvention pitfalls. Yes, we've talked a lot about different things around reinvention, but today we will be focusing on the pitfalls. Now, as I share my screen, I want you to begin to think about a few things, okay? One of the things I want you to think about is in your journey so far, what are the challenges that you faced in the process of reinventing yourself? And for those who are wondering what she's talking about, I strongly recommend that you watch our previous episodes. And if you haven't started anything regarding your personal reinvention, it's okay. We will dive in because you are here at the perfect time. Reinvention always sounds exciting, but the journey in itself is filled with hidden traps. Knowing them early gives you an advantage. We do not have the author, but I find this really very powerful and true. Why do people struggle with reinvention? This is something we need to think about and ask ourselves. Why is it that we are comfortable doing a lot of things, but when it comes to self-development in certain areas, we take a back seat? One of the reasons is because of the fear of failure. Another is sometimes we're waiting for perfect timing. And sometimes we're overthinking every step and we're trying to change everything at once. I want to go into 10 reinvention pitfalls. I want to talk about them with you, and I want you to think about these as you proceed. For those of you who do not know, we have what we call 90 days challenge going on. It's our 90-day action challenge where people log in wherever you might be in the world. It's 12 p.m. Pacific in Californian time zone. However, WAT is 8 p.m. and EST is 3 p.m. Whatever time zone you are in, it's a dedicated 30 minutes for working on something consistently. So I won't go too much into that now. Let's dive in. Waiting for the perfect moment. The truth and reality, my friend, is that there is no perfect moment. Start where you are and go on with what you have. Do not wait for perfect moments. Over planning without acting. Oh, that is something that I have been fortunate to have a lot of people that I have coached through this particular mindset. And sometimes people don't understand that with people that tend to overplan without acting, it's not that they're doing this intentionally. It's a process that happens where you just want to make sure all your ducks are in a row. You want to make sure you got everything right. And then in user experience design, we call it analysis, a paralysis by analysis. You're so busy analyzing, you get paralyzed. So here is a solution I want to recommend to you today. Act on imperfect plans and adjust as you go. It's better than not doing. I used to be a perfectionist, so I know what I'm talking about. Pitfall 3, reinventing without inner alignment. Oh, this one is just so powerful. It's that inner alignment, it's critical. You can't fix the outside if your inside is still fractured. Reinvention really requires healing, clarity, and truth, not escape. So you need to be aligned with why you want to reinvent. Are you reinventing yourself to escape from something, or are you reinventing a part of your life, reinventing something in your life because you have an understanding of where you are and where you need to go, and you know the truth about your desires? So I would say start with a truth audit. Get quiet. A lot of people these days that speak to me in coaching sessions have said to me, they have not ever sat down to pause and think deeply about certain things. I strongly recommend make it a habit to reflect. It's the biggest gift you can give to yourself. So get quiet, reflect deeply, and anchor your next move in who you are and not just what is trending. Because what is trending will pass. That's a promise. Pitfall 4, changing everything at once. Okay. So sometimes we want to change, we want it so badly, we throw out the baby with the bathwater. Big shifts don't require wiping the slate clean. Gradual layering beats impulsive erasure. Okay. So shift by layers, not leaps. Change one domain at a time, career, mindset, habits, so that your growth can stabilize. Really very critical while you are working on your reinvention. Don't throw out your identity, your habits, and everything good simply because you want a clean house. Pitfall 5, copying instead of creating. I know copying can be great, it can be good when you don't when you want to start something afresh or you want to do something new. There is nothing wrong with copying. Okay? I'll repeat that. Nothing wrong with copying. However, mimicking someone else's path will absolutely mute your voice. So, reinvention is authentic evolution, not imitation. I can look at something that somebody is doing, maybe, for instance, sharing their thoughts via YouTube, and I want to copy that. I want to do that. I want to share what I know. I'm copying somebody else because there's thousands and millions of people already doing it. But I cannot mimic someone else's path, because if I do that, it will be a copy of their voice and not my authentic self. So, extract inspiration from others by all means as a solution, but design your own blueprint. Keep what aligns to your values and discard what does not fit. Pitfall 6, measuring too soon or too late. Has any of you ever watched a kid try to plant a corn and they put the corn in the soil or in the test tube, and every 3 hours they're going to check it? Well, I have seen that happen so many times with kids around me, nephews, nieces, my own children. But that's not the sort of measuring I'm talking about. I'm talking about reinvention without clear checkpoints. You must have clear checkpoints when you're working on yourself, on your career, on your self-development. Because if you don't have those checkpoints, you will find yourself drifting or burning out. It's critical that you know what success should look like at the end of 30 days, at the end of 60 days, at the end of 90 days. So if you're part of our 90-day reinvention challenge, you need to make sure that you know and define what success should look like to you at the end of 30 days, 60 or 90 days. So, solution, I would say set small checkpoints every 7, 14, or 30 days. Don't leave it too long to check, and then celebrate micro wins, okay? And use them to adjust direction without losing your momentum. That is so important, my friend. Pitfall 7, fear of failing publicly. Has any one of you ever spoken publicly? Well, if you haven't, maybe you should try it one day. I tell you, there are lots of people that are afraid of speaking publicly. But more than that, there are even more people who are afraid of failing publicly. A lot of us would rather fail in private. And that fear of public failing is a grip on us that stops us from moving forward a lot of times. So fear magnifies when you hide it. It magnifies when you hide it. So I have learned over the years, if something is causing me a bit of fear and concern, I turn to my trusted family, trusted friends, and I say, you know what? I want to do this, or I'm thinking about this, but this is what I am afraid of. And the moment it comes out of my mouth, and sometimes you don't even have to share it with anybody, you can share it with yourself in the shower. The moment you voice it out, you suddenly begin to see ways and reasoning of why you need not fear. So, embrace small public wins to build resilience in yourself. Try to make sure that you give yourself the opportunity to have little public wins. And that's one of the reasons why we run the 90 days challenge, giving people opportunity to come in, say, I'm going to do this for 30 minutes tomorrow. And tomorrow they come in and they actually spend 30 minutes doing it publicly. And guess what? Your brain begins to wire itself to trust you with a whole lot more intensity. Pitfall 8, ignoring feedback or blind spots. I say this everywhere where I work, in my pastorals. In fact, in the most recent pastoral, I had posters all over the Canadian campus, the San Diego campus, saying feedback is a gift. Feedback is a gift. A lot of us are not yet in that mindset. When we hear feedback, we take offense, we crimple up, we shrivel, we hate the person who is speaking, and we just go on another level of defense. If you can take anything away from today's call, I want you to take this away. Ignoring feedback or blind spots is one of the most dangerous pitfalls you can ever fall into in your reinvention journey. If everyone is telling you the same thing, my people, listen. Reinvention thrives on self-awareness, not on denial. Okay. And a solution I want you to begin to think about is invite feedback intentionally. Let trusted voices help you see what you can't, then grow through it and not around it. I tell my staff sometimes, you need to tell me if this is not working. You need to show me what you think is not working, and you need to speak up. We are building this together. Silence, thinking, well, that's their business, I'm just here for the wage, isn't the way to go about it. But guess what? If I don't say that to them and openly invite that feedback, some people might never share it. Your spouse, darling, I know you love me, I love you too. Is there anything I can do to make you even feel more special? Or is there anything I keep doing that just drives you up the wall, sweetie? I want to know. And by the way, you don't ask these kind of questions when you are in the middle of a fight. You intentionally build a loving conversation to ask some of these questions from your children. Hey, sweetie, mommy loves you so much. Is there anything that you think mommy could do better? Because mommy is so good at giving you feedback. Well, mommy wants a feedback now. You will be amazed how your life will feel when you begin to see that feedback is a gift. Pitfall 9, isolation. Oh my gosh, this is the most dangerous one. What with remote working, I am a strong advocate for remote working. However, I know the pitfalls that comes with remote working. It is critical if you work remotely to understand that isolation can be dangerous. So trying to reinvent alone is harder. When you're doing all this by yourself, it's harder. That is why I always encourage people, join our Reinvent to Rise hub. There are people in the hub. We are all here in the hub. We have things like 90-day challenge and all sorts of events where we come together and just do life together and encourage each other. No judgment. Okay? So please, please, please do not allow isolation to cripple your journey. Find accountability, find community, find mentors. It doesn't have to be Reinvent to Rise Hub, but find mentors. Pitfall 10, reinventing without a clear why. I love this so much because I even have resources to share with you as a result of it. Many people chase reinvention because they're bored. Sometimes sometimes they're burnt out, and sometimes they're busy comparing themselves to others, and they have no clear reason for driving that shift they want in their life. Once that is in place, energy will fade fast, right? So the real world results you want to think about is you need to understand that if you don't have a compelling why, even the most exciting changes will feel empty and your motivation will wither. You started something, well, yeah, you did it for 6 days, 10 days, 2 weeks, and that's it. You fall back into old patterns. It happens to all of us. Solution I recommend for this: before any move, you need to ask yourself, what pain am I solving, or what future am I fighting for? Let that answer become your anchor. Like I said, I promised you resources. This is a book that I think you need to read if you have not. This Find Your Why by Simon Sinek is a powerful companion, okay, for anyone starting in their reinvention journey or whatever phase of your reinvention journey is that you are in. It doesn't just help you to reflect, it gives you step-by-step methods to uncover deeper reason behind your goals, behind your shifts and the seasons of change. For those rising into new identity, career, or calling, this book anchors your transformation in purpose. So you're not just changing what you do, but aligning it to why you exist. I strongly recommend it to all our viewers. And then for some of you, you may have heard or not the story of Elizabeth Holmes. I strongly recommend that you go and read this story. But before you judge Elizabeth, ask yourself if this can happen to anyone who forgets their why. Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion. That's a quote from Simon Sinek's book, Find Your Why. Please grab your copy and enjoy, and feel free to share feedback about what you've learned and how that connects with your reinvention journey. And with that, I would love to wrap up today's session and recommend next steps to you, that you do one of these three things. Subscribe to us and never miss our live events or recorded ones. Start your challenge, right? You can just join the 90-day challenge, go to old files, play them, and give yourself that credibility of doing something small every day towards your own goal. You can just click on the replays on our YouTube channel. Or if you want to take it a step deeper, you can join the Reinvent to Rise community by using the link below. It has been fabulous speaking with you. It has been fabulous having a wonderful time and session talking with you today. I hope that you go ahead and look at every potential pitfall in your reinvention journey and share your small wins with us, either on YouTube, by email, any way that is comfortable for you. Until next week, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And that's bye from now. My name is Pamela Lamala. I delight in helping you through this journey.